So I was playing rugby sevens for the Navy when I was serving, and yeah, I kind of got hit side on from a guy, and when I flipped over, I landed on his knee. His knee pushed my internals into my spine and ruptured my pancreas. Yeah.
Your ab muscles that would usually hold you up, they're not there.
Go Marshall! Move it! Go Marshall!
Too much move. And then hold on to the frame.
Tuck your bottom in. How's it feel? How's your head?
Are you busy? You are.
Okay. Just breathe.
Well done. Well done. Well done. Okay, it's out. Feeling any better? What? Dizzy? You're doing good.
Bloody hell. Pre-injury, I weighed 80 kilos. When I come out of hospital, I weighed 55. So I ruptured my pancreas, which processes your food, controls your blood sugars, and sort of directs all your nutrients where they need to go into the body. Got out of hospital, and every time I ate food, I got massive pains in my stomach. This went on for 6 months while I was out of hospital, and every time I went to the toilet, it'll just be like orange liquid, and I was embarrassed of it. And I didn't know what was going on. I thought it was just part of the process. So I lived with that for about 6 months, and I sort of said to my partner, I was like, we've got to get this checked out. And I went back to the specialist and said, look, this was what's happening. Yeah, you should have been on these pills when you left hospital. So I wasn't putting on weight, or I kept losing weight because all the food I was eating for 6 months was going straight through my body. So I was just malnourished, and it was just coming in and going out. The surgeons and doctors they'd explain what was going on with me and trying to give me an idea of what was going on, but I didn't really care. I was just like, just do it and get it done, and I just want to get out of there. They'd bring in pictures and show me, but I just turned away and said, I don't care. I just want to get out of here. I used to try and fight being awake. So they'd be like, you ready? And I'd be like, yep. Every time I went through, it was like a laugh and stuff, and they're like, you ready? And they'd just pump me full of it, and I'm just like, just fighting. That's all I used to look forward to. And then I wake up feeling like dog shit and be like fucking spewing up. They told my family that I was going to be in hospital for at least 6 months minimum. So when I come out of my coma and I was able to talk, and I found this out, I said I was going to be out before Christmas, which was 3 months. So from their projected 6 months, I cut that time in half and said I'm walking out of here. And the surgeons just looked at me and smiled and said, that's been hopeful. And yeah, 2 days before Christmas, I walked out of there.
Ready, I'm coming for you!
I still had my stomach pump and my feeding tube and stuff, which I had to flush myself. But being in hospital for 3 months, I picked up on how to do all my own dressings and how to flush my stomach out with syringes and stuff. I had one of my feeding tubes that was still inside me, and it was hanging out my stomach. I had to get like a syringe with a bottle and flush liquid through it, just so it didn't block up, just in case I went back into hospital. They didn't have to re-plumb me to feed me again. They wouldn't have to cut me open and rewire me to keep me alive. Post-injury, I've never sort of had any passion around going to the gym or any type of stuff like that, but I'd say post-injury, it's kind of drawn me to the gym side, and I've just gained like a big passion over the last 2 years of training and being fit and competing, and getting the opportunity to come and start making strongman equipment, gym equipment for other people is just yeah, mind-blowing for me, and it's just, yeah, something that's I've never thought about doing for a job. When I was building my own equipment in Darwin, a lot of people said I should start a business in making gym equipment and whatnot, but I sort of just brushed it off and was like, it's just a hobby for me. I'm only doing it because I have to train for competitions. And yeah, getting the opportunity to come to Brisbane and start working for Atomic Mass and actually building proper gym equipment, and you know, it sort of just jumped out at me and be like, shit, I actually love this and love what I do now, and it sort of just added to the passion about competing and training.
Get some filler shots of Rob.
You seen these before?
No, what is that?
Gun rack.
No, it's not.
Look at that fucking baby.
I'm not sort of the person that sort of jumps half and half into something. If I'm going to do it, I'll do it all in or nothing. That's pretty much how I've been my whole life. So I was brought up in like a big family. So my dad passed away when I was 2, and my mum sort of got sick, so we got brought up with our uncle and his partner. We grew up in a family of 10. So we were like a big household, so we didn't have anything flash. We sort of made do with what we got, and we grew up on a farm. The lifestyle was just get out there and do something. We didn't have like flash toys or anything to keep us inside. We just went outside and made our own fun. I never actually found any interest in lifting anything. I just sort of was brought up playing rugby from the age of 4, and that's all I'd done right up to till I got injured. I only started going to the gym when I joined the Navy, and then I got into just some general basic stuff, nothing too serious, just random weightlifting. I wasn't tracking anything or wasn't trying to hit any goals. I'd just go there just to keep fit and healthy.
Kia ora koutou katoa. My name is Donovan Bickford, and I had the pleasure of teaching Marshal Crewther 2009 at Wairoa College. The first day that he came to my class, I actually thought that he was a junior student in the school because he was tiny in appearance, little back flap mullet going on, but he was actually larger than life and big in stature and personality. I guess to really sum up Marshall and the kind of character that he is, he stared adversity in the face, he stared death in the face, he's come out smiling and laughing every time. If you beat him, you lift heavier than him, he is going to go away and do some secret trainings and come back and beat you. He wants you to get better so that you can beat him, and as you get better, he gets better, and both of you continue to grow. And that's really sums up Marshall with the drive that he has to push, the determination that he has to push. All of his friends were going one way in life at school, and Marshall would do the complete opposite, and he would blaze his own path, happy to do what is going to make him happy and compete against himself and make himself better and those around him. Keep training hard and train and be the best that you can. Ka kite.
My brother, who's a pro strongman, who I've been watching for a while.
I'm originally from New Zealand. These are my brothers. Tell everyone to go hop up from me from New Zealand.
And I used to love the atmosphere, and I used to love the guys and all the events that were going on. So I had an idea of what the sport was. Before my injury, it never drew me. Like, I didn't want to go and train strongman. But once I got injured and then come out of hospital and I couldn't play rugby again, I needed another sport that I could work towards. After watching my brother compete in strongman, I was like, oh, they've got lightweight divisions. I'm going to start doing that.
We overhead press 200 kilo logs. We lift stones, we pull trucks. Things we do are not normal.
I started chatting to my brother and he goes, oh, I want you to join up to this comp, which was 4 months after I joined the gym. I joined the gym at 68 kilos with Betsy, and he said I wanted you to do this comp. So I looked at the competition and none of the weights I could reach, like by far. I couldn't log press 60 kilos. I failed 60 kilos like 3 times and I weighed 68. And the competition was 100 kilo log press, so 4 months to get 40 kilos on my log press. And I was like, I don't know how I'm going to do the comp. So I just looked at Betsy and said, all right, we're going to do this. We'll do it properly. And he said, all right. So we asked the boss if we could build our own strongman equipment in the shed. Me and Betsy got together, got the steel, built all the equipment we needed for that comp, and just started training for 3 or 4 months. And yeah, that's pretty much how the strongman scene kicked off in Darwin.
We're building strongman shit, Russ.
How many 250 kilos?
Yeah, buddy. Are you sure you know how to do that, bro?
I didn't have a coach leading up to Queensland's Strongest Man 2018, and I just watched YouTube on all the lifts and technique. All my technique and skills come from YouTube, videos of the world's strongest man, and just watching hours of them. Going into my first comp, no idea what to expect, and obviously the nerves were there kicking in on the day, but I think the way that I got my name out there in the strongman scene was lifting a 100 kilo stone over 1.7, it might have been 1.8 meters.
Take your time there. Push it up, up, up. Go, Marsh. Keep going, Marsh. Keep going, Marsh. Keep going, Marsh. Push, push.
I wasn't tall enough to get it over the bar with my hands, so I kind of used my face and rested the stone on my face at that height. And everybody couldn't believe it. They're like, who's this madman come from Darwin down to Queensland? Because no one knew anything about me. And I'd never picked up a stone in my life. So all I did with warm-up was pick it up off the ground, a 100 kilo stone. I was like, all right, I can pick it up, so I might be able to put it over a bar. I ended up bleeding from the side of my face because the stone was resting on there. And I think that's where my entry to strongman started, was from the guy that lifted the stone with his face at Queensland's Strongest Man. And that's how I become so well known now.
Strongman Ambassador Marshal Crewther aiming to make the competition bigger and better in the future, allowing competitors like himself to compete in their weight divisions instead of an open class format.
My third place, I purposely jumped in with the big boys, but as we progress we'll be able to jump into our division.
Static Monsters Worldwide, which gives competitors the chance to compete with other strong men and women from around the world, gets underway in Palmerston later this month. Keziah Dawn, 9 News.
And then everyone just see me and they're like, oh, you've been doing this long? I was like, oh, it's my first comp, I don't know. I've got no coach, and that's how I got into Jimmy. And looking back at the videos, I was standing, when I went back into the crowd, like they were right next to me. Like Jimmy was right, I didn't know who the hell he was. And he was right next to me, like right there. Like he was coaching his athlete, and then I like walked right up next to Jimmy and just stood there. I was like, I don't know anybody. And Jimmy was like, we need that guy on our team. You won't see every normal competitor doing comp after comp after comp. It's like what Eddie Hall said, like when he was going for his major lift.
Basically put me in a situation in my head where I'm not lifting a weight off the floor, but pulling a person off of my kids.
If you get into a fight and someone hits you and then all your blood starts pumping, you get really hyped up. Put it into a lifting perspective, when you start taking your mindset and making yourself angry, it creates a lot of energy that you're able to use, that you can't just walk into a lift, sort of relax and then expect to pull something insane. Pretty much going to war with yourself all the time. So I think I've done it roughly 8 to 9 competitions in maybe 12 months to see if I could do 3 comps in 4 weeks. Like the normal average Joe wouldn't go along and try and do 3 to 4 comps, like full strongman comps. Everyone thought I was mad for doing it, but I thought, I was like, this will be good to see where I'm at and see how I cope with recovery and stress on my body, and just see how far I could push. It was pretty challenging, and I enjoyed it, and I'd do it again. Growing up, like if you talk to any of my family, there's no one would be surprised at where I am today. Yeah, I've always had that, you know, energy to, if I'm doing something, just go and do it. You know, I've always been chasing something. And people that are close to me, they're not looking at me and like, oh, I can't believe he's doing that. Once you know me and once you've been around me and once you get that vibe from me, it's normal behaviour for me to do what I do.
I just remember looking in the mirror and that I don't know how or why it happened, but a massive euphoria of self-confidence just came over myself. It was like a little flick switch in my brain that just went, let's go.
I kind of freak a lot of people out if they haven't followed me from my journey. People ask me how long I've been in the strength sport for, and they sort of project me to be in the sport for 6 to 7 years, you know, competing and training for a long time. When I tell them I've only been doing it for 2.5 years, they're shocked about what I'm doing and my injury and stuff. Most of the people that I've talked to, it sort of opens their mind and they think about themselves like, shit, what am I doing? A lot of people get like a confidence boost from it and say, shit, if I'm out here doing it, they look at themselves and like, well, I've got no excuses, fit and healthy, like there's no reason why I can't be in that same boat.